So you want to play Terraria? I'm Music, and today I'm going to tell you all about it. Terraria is a fun spin on the Minecraft formula. It's a 2D side-scroller action-adventure with base building. It has unique bosses and a difficulty scaling that will leave you feeling satisfied. Or dead. With many tombstones littering your base, turning it into a decrepit wasteland that seeks to devour your flesh, leaving nothing but your bones to rot into dust while the ghosts haunt your memory for eternity. Agony and torture following you to the bits of hell where you'll be torn apart again and again until you give in to the insanity, screaming no more for the rest of time! So yes, a fun and lighthearted game for the whole family. You'll get to fight slimes, zombies, slimes, goblins, and more slimes. This one flies. That one's on a balloon. Look at him go. Your typical RPG fare. You'll go mining for rare minerals to get the kind of gear that will allow you to live in this dangerous world. There are eyes on you, and not all of them are friendly. You might think to dig underground, and that's all well and fine. But don't dig too far down. Not everyone in hell was dragged there. Some fell into it and had their bones dissolved into molten magma, while their flesh was stripped and roasted on a spit for demons to enjoy. You might be thinking there's something I can use down there. You would be correct, but if you release that power, it changes the world. Half will be blessed with light and peace. Fairies and unicorns will roam the surface. The other half will be devoured by evil, corruption, and crimson forces acting on the world in unflattering ways. Death and destruction await you. The world of Terraria is out for blood, and if you don't want to die, then listen closely. Recruit NPCs to your cause, like the merchant or nurse. Mine like your life depends on it. Gear up using resources like iron or titanium. Build up your base and prepare for those watching eyes, because when the bosses come a-knockin', they won't wait for you to be ready. Alone or with friends, the world of Terraria only seeks your destruction and frustration.
Whoa, come on now. Tell them about how the game plays.
Who are you?
I'm BLT, like the sandwich, but a person.
Alright, what did I miss?
The gameplay is simple and yet has more depth than most AAA games, which to be fair are more like CCC games than A. It's not perfect and more improvements are to be had, but since development has ended, we aren't likely to see them. That said, it is in a good state and most weapons manage to feel unique, and armor sets all have their own effects and stat boosts. You have ranged weapons like bows, guns, and throwing weapons. You can also get up close with swords, axes, and lances. You can even cast magic. With such a wide variety, you'll be wanting to try them all out. And if you don't feel like attacking things yourself, you can summon things like squirrels, birds, and demons to do it for you. I even have seen someone use a yo-yo. Many NPCs can be recruited to your cause, including the merchant, who sells you the basics, the goblin tinkerer, who can help you get the best out of your gear, or the demolitionist if you want to blow some shit up. Every NPC is unique and does different things, except the painter. He does nothing, so we put him in jail.
Do I look like a painter to you?
You can set up bases for them and buy magic crystals to let you teleport to them anytime. Just make sure they're safe, because if there are not enough NPCs in the area, they don't work. Though if you lose a few NPCs, don't worry. Replacements will arrive over the next few days. But until then, you would have to walk or fly. Oh my god, you could fly? Like an obese eagle. Oh, that looks uncomfortable. Oh, I think I'm gonna be sick. Oh god. Beating bosses is the only way to progress the world and eventually get the best gear. Each one is unique and offers new challenges while employing different strategies. Some shoot lasers, others are giant worms that try to eat you, and some are both. There are difficulty spikes, and while some can come without notice, you can prepare the battlefield ahead of time and make the fight more manageable. The game is thoroughly moddable, though at the time of writing this, it is the previous version of Terraria. Still though, if you don't mind an older version of a great game, there's much more content to be had, like Calamity, Thorium, and many more. Download the Community Mod Edition from the Steam store today and give it a shot. I think that covers it.
You forgot about the story!
There is no story.
Not in the traditional sense, sure, but the story of Terraria is hidden deep in small nuggets. You awaken in a world you know nothing about. The guide is your only friend. If you did nothing for a long time, you would quickly find the world consumed either by corruption or the dreaded crimson. The story unfolds as the world reacts to what you as the player do.
That's not a story, that's just a reactive world. A story includes character progression, lore, and at least a bit of dialogue.
Alright, fine. Should we call scores?
Go for it.
We give Terraria the following scores. First up, 5 out of 10 for story and world building. It doesn't really have a story that is told but more inferred, so you can easily miss it if you aren't paying attention. At the very least, you'll have a few interesting stories of your own by the time you finish it.
I give it 8 out of 10 gameplay. While good, there are improvements that could still be made. It's still got a solid foundation.
Content, 9 out of 10. Probably could have been a 10 if it was still in development and the community modding API were updated to the latest patch. Still, there's a lot to do and you won't finish it in a single sitting.
We combined this for an average score of 7.3. It's an above average game and receives a standard recommendation.
Like and subscribe if you don't want Cthulhu to come knocking. We'll see you next time. That is, if Skeletron doesn't get you in the meantime.